Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Aimstone channel. As always, let's go ahead and start this video with Bitcoin market. As of the time of this recording, Bitcoin is wiggling at around $27,000. Yes, in the past 2 days, BTC bounced back quite nicely. It went from 26k all the way to $27,000. It gained $1,000 per coin. However, I hope this is not going to be pump and dump just like we have seen many times since August. Yes, in the mid-August we saw this small pump and dump, that much bigger pump and dump, where BTC went from like 26k all the way to 28,000 bucks, but then in just a matter of few days it dipped below $26,000 once again. Then we also saw BTC dip to 25k but recover quite nicely, and here we are. Hopefully this time BTC will be able to sustain $27,000 level. Speaking of the technicals, we can notice that BTC right now broke above 50 days simple moving average as well as 100 days simple moving average. This is quite nice. Yes, 50 days moving average is in this black color and 100 days simple moving average is in this bluish color. And usually when 50 days moving average breaks above 100 days moving average, it actually represents a very bullish sign. And it looks like if BTC will be able to sustain $27,000 level, it may happen in just few weeks where this 50 days moving average will break above 100 days moving average. Okay guys, guess what? Bitcoin halving is just not so far away. Slightly more than 6 months away, 200 days. Yes, it will take place in April 17, 2024. 6 months away. This is a perfect time to get yourself prepared. In fact, let's just take a look at this chart. What happened historically 6 months before each Bitcoin halving? Well, the first Bitcoin halving took place in late 2012, where BTC was wiggled around $12. And 6 months before that date, it would be $6. So technically, BTC appreciated by 100% going 6 months before until the Bitcoin halving. Okay, moving on to the second Bitcoin halving that took place in July 2016. During the date of the Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin was at around $650. And 6 months before that date, it would be somewhere around June, and BTC was around $450. So technically, BTC appreciated by 50% going 6 months before until the next Bitcoin halving. Okay, moving on to the third Bitcoin halving that took place in May 2020. During that date, BTC was at around $8,500, and 6 months before that, BTC was also at $8,500. So technically, BTC has been flat. Okay, so what we should anticipate now? Yes, if history would repeat once again, I think it is reasonable to assume that we may expect somewhere between 0% growth to up to 100% growth, which means it will put BTC somewhere around like $27,000 and slightly below $60,000 at the date of the next Bitcoin halving that will take place in April 2024. Okay guys, moving on. Unfortunately, it looks like SCC delays spot Bitcoin half decision for BlackRock, Invesco, and Bitwise. Let's take a look. The United States Security and Exchange Commission has delayed its decision on several proposals for spot Bitcoin ETF exchange-traded funds, including BlackRock ahead of anticipated government shutdown. Who the hell cares about government? Not me. The spot Bitcoin ETF applications of Invesco, Bitwise, and Will Carry were delayed by SEC according to separate September 28 filings, while Bloomberg ETF analyst James Seifert is expecting the applications from Fidelity, VanEck, and WisdomTree to also be pushed back by Security and Exchange Commission. And of course, this is a bit unfortunate because it looks like in October we're not going to get Bitcoin spot ETF. However, there are actually some positive news. SEC has reportedly taken unprecedented steps of reaching out to spot Bitcoin ETF applicants to go over plumbing. I'm not so sure what plumbing means, but it looks like SEC taking Bitcoin spot ETF seriously and not just throwing it away in the garbage. It looks like they are analyzing what the hell is going on. So plumbing may mean that where they're going to store the Bitcoin. Of course, we know majority of Bitcoin spot ETF applicants will store in Coinbase, as some of them may store elsewhere. So it looks like after Gary Gensler has been grilled so much in the Congress, maybe now he wants to take his job more seriously. Okay, moving on. Look at this. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, is reportedly considering filing for spot Ethereum ETF. Look, if they are doing this, it tells me that they know something that public does not. It looks like they probably anticipate the Bitcoin spot ETF will be approved, and now they are on the verge for filing for Ethereum spot ETF. Yes, they definitely know something that we don't, and yes, it might be quite bullish for Ethereum. Ray Dalio says US is going to have a debt crisis. Well, I don't know who will be surprised at this point, as we know that inflation literally skyrocketed in the past 2 years. US dollar is being debased every single year. So crisis is probably the only way out and possibly restructure the US debt. Okay, who remember what Robert Kiyosaki, wrong dad, poor dad, said a few days ago? Bye bye Bitcoin US dollar. He said that just because he got scared because Citibank apparently releasing another shitcoin. How the hell that shitcoin is going to conquer Bitcoin? I have no idea, but apparently Robert Kiyosaki does. And this is what Max Kaiser responded. You are confusing Bitcoin with XRP. Bye bye XRP. And I definitely agree with that statement with Max Kaiser. And now it looks like he's pedaling back, and apparently he remains bullish on Bitcoin. This is what he stated just a few hours ago. Fed, CBDC coming, privacy gone, big brothers will be watching you. When CBDC enters the market, gold, silver, Bitcoin and cash will become priceless. Start saving gold, silver, Bitcoin and cash now before it's too late. So, I don't know, guys, what this guy is flip-flopping every other day. One day he's bearish on Bitcoin, another day he's bullish on Bitcoin. But anyway, guys, let's move on and take a look at some interesting Bitcoin charts. This first chart represents BTC amount of hodled or lost coins, and this number is approaching 8 million BTC. That is correct. 8 million BTC is officially either hodled or lost. And let's not forget that there are roughly 19.5 million Bitcoin in circulation. So if we subtract that 8 million BTC that either hodled or lost, it means that there are roughly 11.5 million in circulation only. Do you guys know what that means? It means that Bitcoin is deflationary asset, and Bitcoin scarcity is continued to increase as long as the hodled lost coins continue to increase. Yes, guys, stack more sats and do not forget about your private keys. Another quite interesting chart. This is Bitcoin Rainbow Price Chart Indicator. Who remember that chart? Yes, not so long ago, this chart has been declared dead. In fact, this happened in late 2022, where BTC dipped below $16,000 and technically Bitcoin price dipped below this price chart, the last layer of this rainbow. And now BTC quite recovered a bit. However, this is not it. It looks like BTC is on the verge of the last layer in this bluish color of this chart. If BTC will bounce back from this point on, it would be quite nice. And in fact, this is what I anticipate what will happen in the next couple of months, especially after the Bitcoin halving. Okay guys, moving on. This chart has been created by the Russian root. It compares Bitcoin versus S&P 500 price action. Yes, we can notice indeed high correlation between Bitcoin and the stock market. Whenever stock market goes up, Bitcoin goes up as well. But whenever stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes down also. But you may ask why this is happening, why there is still close correlation. The main reason why, because as we know, Federal Reserve, when they inject more liquidity, all assets in the US tend to go up. And the opposite is true as well. When they suck liquidity out of the market, assets tend to go lower. So there is that. Right now it looks like Fed sucks liquidity out of the economy. However, this is just a matter of time when they will create the huge stimulus because they are addicted to free money. Okay, moving on. The following chart from the Russian root basically represents money supply. As we can see that in the past 10 years, the money supply increased by almost 50%. At the same time, US dollar has been debased by 50% respectively. So yes guys, there is strong correlation between printing money and inflation. So buy Bitcoin and do not worry about what the politician is going to do next. Just buy Bitcoin, maybe some gold if you want to, and just hodl and live your life. And lastly, let's take a look at this quick video where Caitlyn Long explains what she thinks may happen to BTC next. Let's take a look.
Curious what you have to say about this one. We know Pantera Capital's model is showing Bitcoin crossing around $100,000 US around the time of the US presidential election in 2024. According to the latest report, if history were to repeat itself, the next halving would see Bitcoin rising to 35,000 before the halving and then 148,000 after. What say you? Do you find this target plausible?
Those models are implying a big rally. Absolutely, it's plausible, because the models, if you use them for backtesting purposes, have worked reasonably well. They have undershot in this most recent 4-year cycle. They undershot the upside and overshot the downside a little bit, but not that much. If you look at the stock to flow models, if you look at some of these Mayer multiple models, they've actually worked reasonably well as a valuation. And the Kitco customer base would certainly understand this, because commodities have always been valued on the basis of stock to flow. Why is gold so valuable? The answer is it has a very low inflation rate. What does that mean? It means the flow of new gold is very low relative to the stock of outstanding gold. That is why gold, throughout multiple parts in human history where we didn't even understand that peoples necessarily interacted and could share ideas, evolved as money. Why was gold money in so many different cultures across such a long period of time? Because it had a low stock to flow. In other words, the inflation rate was approximating the rate of population growth. And therefore, gold became the tether for money and credit. And so that model of valuing commodities has stood the test of time, and I see Bitcoin as just a digital commodity. It's a digital version of gold, and so there's no reason why the stock to flow commodity valuation models wouldn't apply to Bitcoin as well, and they have worked relatively well. That said, you're right, I don't make forecasts. And a model is good and it works until it doesn't. So I don't put too much weight into it. But on the other side, Bitcoin has unforgeable costliness, a costliness that cannot be counterfeited, in other words, and that's what makes it scarce. And that over time should give it more value relative to the inflating fiat currency regimes in which we all live.
All right. Well, we'll take that as a potentially yes. I do think we can see Bitcoin at 100,000 by the end of 2024.
Yeah.
She said that she agreed with Pantera Capital Analysis. She believes BTC may be about $100,000 after the Bitcoin halving, and most likely by the end of 2024. Yes, $100,000 on my opinion would be a bare minimum. $100,000 would be slightly more than 3x from this current price point. Once again, guys, Stackmo says Bitcoin halving is just 6 months away. This is perfect time to get yourself prepared for the upcoming huge parabolic run. And yes, inflation is going to go higher. The only way out is to stack more BTC, and whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. But if you want to save your life, you want to preserve your wealth, stack Bitcoin. Let me know what you guys think about Caitlyn Long prediction. Comment below, subscribe, and like this video.